The sudden steep rise in the price of many pharmaceuticals has also become a hot topic on the U.S. campaign trail. Mylan Labs announced today that it will effectively cut in half the price that patients pay for a product called EpiPen. EpiPen is an injection system that delivers life-saving medication to allergy patients. Children suffering from allergies, including things like nut allergies, bring EpiPens to school in case they suffer an attack. But the cost of the drug has soared more than 500% in recent years to around $600 for an EpiPen. Mylan blames the healthcare system, but patients, parents, and lawmakers are outraged. Hillary Clinton has also been critical of Mylan. The big question, will today's move quell the controversy? Joining me now with his thoughts is Peter Pitts. He is the president and co-founder for the Center for Medicine in the Public Interest. Peter, thanks very much for being with us. I mean, Hillary Clinton and many others say there's no justification. The Mylan CEO has been speaking out today, blaming the insurance system here in the U.S. Help me. I don't understand how that's a justification for a 500% increase.
Well, when you raise the price 500% and then you basically say the next year you're going to halve that price, clearly there are some issues going on with a corporate strategy. But I think the opportunity here is to talk about the value of competition. When you don't have competition in the marketplace, these types of things can happen. So this is an opportunity, I think, for the FDA to step forward and really be an important player in this game by prioritizing products that don't have generic competition in the marketplace that are off patent. EpiPen is a good example. There are other ones as well. Also, when you don't have competition in the marketplace, the issue of potential drug shortages come to play as well. So it's another reason to begin to prioritize what types of products kind of go to the front of the queue from the FDA approval process. But, you know, from a Mylan perspective, they stepped forward, they did the right thing. I'm trying to blame insurance industry. Clearly, there's a lot wrong with the insurance industry. But going forward to saying it's their fault that the price is so high when there's no competition on the marketplace, I don't really think really has much justification.
Yeah, and there's been no change in the drug since they bought it as well. You know, no obvious change that would justify that. And the CEO's salary has risen 700%. We'll circle back to that in a minute. You're talking about more competition on the market. There were generics that were available for this, issues with a couple of them that saw them leave the market. In addition to competition, do we need to see price caps, regulation for price caps, especially when you're talking about life-saving drugs such as an EpiPen?
Well, I don't think there were any generics on the market. There were other drugs that provided the same service, just to be clear. But relative to price controls, I think that's a very bad idea, because when you artificially keep prices down, what you do is you tell companies, don't invest in innovation, don't bring generic drugs to market. Obviously, bringing a generic of EpiPen to market, which some companies have tried, is an extremely expensive proposition. When you cap the price, you deter competition and innovation. The same was held true kind of during the Martin Shkreli situation, where the reimbursement for the life-saving drug that he was kind of had in his grip, the reason that he was able to raise the price so high was there was no competition. And the reimbursement was relatively low. You need to have a fair market price. We live in a free market system, and if you cap the price artificially, you deter positive things from happening, such as innovation. That should not get in the way of calling bad actors out when they do the wrong thing. But you don't want to exacerbate the problem by putting bad policies in place, kind of knee-jerk policies that some people talk about that are expedient politically.
Yeah, I think it's hard for parents who are finding out that these pens are available for $100 in Canada, $70 in the UK, to understand why there shouldn't be some kind of regulation. But what about making them available over the counter? That's another alternative that some people have said. Why are these prescription-based anyway, if there's no question? Why aren't they readily available for anyone who needs them by just walking into a drugstore? Would that help?
Well, they're RX-based, they're prescription-based because they are important medicines. No medicine is 100% safe. These medicines need to be used and prescribed from a physician's perspective. You know, they can't be used after a year. They need to be replaced. They're important medicines, but no medicine is 100% safe. You don't want these types of medicines that can be abused and not used properly out there on the shelf for anybody to use. That's not a great solution. The proper solution is to make sure that there's good competition in the marketplace for high-quality, effective medications. I think this is an opportunity for the FDA to really be the hero in this situation and correct the insurance problems here, to correct the corporate greed that might play a piece here, and do the right thing. Competition drives a free market economy. Competition rewards innovation not just in innovation medicines, new medicines, but in generic medicines as well. And I think that's what we've got to keep our eye on here. That's the prize that we want to capture.
We do, and we certainly know that something needs to be changed, and this should not be allowed to happen. Peter Pitts, thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Now, returning to our top story.